everyone, welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. For this Wednesday, January 16th, 2013, I'm Suri Serrano, and this is our daily show where we catch you up on all the latest movie news for the day with insight into what it all means. Joining me, as always, is Mr. John Campea, AMC Movie News Senior Editor.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
Excellent. So let's get started with this first piece of news. Back in 2010, the comedy Hot Tub Time Machine made a modest yet profitable $65 million at the worldwide box office on a reported budget of $36 million. The film starred John Cusack, Rob Corddry, Craig Robinson, and Clark Duke as a group of friends hurled back to a pivotal weekend in their lives back in 1986 by a mysterious hot tub. It is now being reported that MGM is looking to make a sequel of the film and is already in talks with Corddry, Robinson, and Duke to reprise their roles, with Cusack not being involved up to this point. So, John, good idea or bad idea to go back into the hot tub?
You know, this is one of those films to me where, do you need a sequel to Hot Tub Time Machine? No. The answer to that question is clearly no. However, there are roughly, I mean, there's 1,000 different types of comedies, but in my head, I often just break comedies down into kind of basically two types. One is plot-driven comedy, which are great, and the other is character-driven comedy. So, look, the plot of Hot Tub Time Machine is about the hot tub. They go back in time, trying to fix it. Yeah, that's the plot. But let's face it, Hot Tub Time Machine is not a plot-driven comedy. What made Hot Tub Time Machine work so well was just the characters and their interactions together. That's what made Hot Tub Time Machine work. It's a lot like Dumb and Dumber. So you get Harry and Lloyd, right? I mean, Dumb and Dumber, look, who cares that the plot was that they have this suitcase of money and they travel across country to Colorado? None of that's important. None of that is what's memorable. What is memorable are these two characters, Harry and Lloyd, and how they interacted together. And that's why people have been dying for a true Dumb and Dumber sequel, not that Dumb and Dumber abomination that we had a few years ago. That is why people have been excited about a Dumb and Dumber sequel, because we just want to see these characters again. So the reason I am excited to see a Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is certainly not so we can find out what was the real background story to the Chevy Chase character. What is the origins of the hot tub? I don't care, and you don't care. I just want to see Corddry and Robinson and Duke. I do find it interesting that they don't have John Cusack's name on here. But here's the really interesting part. Cusack is probably one of my 10 favorite actors working today. I love him. Wow. I love watching him and stuff. And yet, he's the lead character in Hot Tub Time Machine. If you were to ask me what's the most easily expendable character, it's probably John Cusack's. The best parts of this film, Cusack was great in it, don't get me wrong, but Corddry, Robinson, and Duke together, that trio were so good. I would love to go back and see these guys again. I thought the movie was really underappreciated. As you mentioned, it only made about $65 million at the worldwide box office. It deserved more. I'll be back to see it. You should be back to see it. So yes, I will get in the hot tub with you one more time and just see what these guys do.
All right. Okay. Next up, Open Road Films has just announced that the sequel, Machete Kills, starring Danny Trejo as the grindhouse hero, will arrive in theaters on September 13th. The sequel also stars Mel Gibson, Michelle Rodriguez, Jessica Alba, Amber Heard, Lady Gaga, William Sadler, and Charlie Sheen. Machete made his first appearance in the fake trailer in Grindhouse and had his first movie in 2010, which made just under $26 million at the box office in North America. John, this cast seems reloaded. Are you excited for another Machete movie?
Well, okay, first of all, how can one not be intrigued by the notion of Lady Gaga, Charlie Sheen, and Mel Gibson in a movie together? To me, that's fascinating. Maybe for all the wrong reasons it's fascinating. I'm like everybody else. When the fake trailer for Machete in Grindhouse, to me, hands down, was the best part of Grindhouse. Well, like all the fake trailers kind of together were the best part of Grindhouse. I thought Death Proof was just Quentin Tarantino's worst film ever. I think he just said that himself, too. That was his worst film. I actually kind of liked Planet Terror, but I thought the fake trailers were the best thing about that movie. and Machete was the best of the fake trailers. So then the movie comes out, and the first 5 or 10 minutes was everything I wanted from a Machete movie. The first 5 or 10 minutes when he shows up to that house and he busts in to go rescue I mean, that I was eating up. I'm like, in the first 10 minutes, I'm in my seat thinking, this is the greatest motion picture of all time. Like, I'm thinking I'm about to have the ultimate movie-going experience that anybody in the face of the world has ever had in the history of cinema. And then it just went right to crap after the first 10 minutes. Terrible. Awful, awful movie with one great line that came about, I think it was about halfway through. He goes, "Machete, don't text." That made me laugh my ass off. That was a great moment. Unfortunately, that was it. After the first brilliant 10 minutes, the whole movie just went completely south. And I didn't like it at all. So I have these mixed feelings. Do I want to see a Machete sequel that is really a continuation of the first Machete movie? No, not in the least. But am I interested in a Machete movie that capitalizes much better on the potential of what Machete can be, like the first 10 minutes of the first film? Absolutely. So I'm kind of looking at this Machete movie not as, in my own head, I'm trying to convince myself to not look at this movie as a sequel, because then I just lose interest because I didn't like the first one, but rather as another attempt at this brilliant concept of this awesome character. Danny Trejo as Machete is just, it's so awesome it defines words. They just really screwed up the first film. If they can get back to the brilliance of that first 10 minutes in the original fake trailer, then I'm on board. So I'm and this cast, I mean, this is a strange cast. So yeah, color me completely intrigued. I'm not going to say excited. I'm not going to say not excited. Completely intrigued by what they can pull off with this.
Okay. Fabulous. Moving on. This weekend, the new film Broken City opens in AMC theaters everywhere and boasts an all-star cast of Mark Wahlberg, Russell Crowe, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. The film follows an ex-cop turned private eye, Mark Wahlberg, who is thrown headfirst into a hotbed of trouble after a mayor, Russell Crowe, hires him to look into his cheating wife. Wahlberg has had one of the most interesting careers, going from Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch to being an Academy Award-nominated actor. So, John, I've been wanting to ask you, what are your 5 favorite Mark Wahlberg movies?
Wahlberg is one of these guys. I used to rail a lot in my earlier movie blogging days against music stars becoming actors because they generally always suck. Sure. But Mark Wahlberg is one of these guys who did it right. I mean, he actually dedicated himself to acting. He went and studied with some of the best acting teachers in the business. And he took years to develop himself. He didn't just jump right in, hey, he's famous, he's Marky Mark, give him a lead role in this. It's like he kind of developed, you know, and he did it. He's one of these guys who did it the right way. And I've always respected that about him. And he's actually turned into a phenomenal actor. And he's had a lot of really great films. So with Broken City coming out this week, he's definitely, Russell Crowe is my favorite actor right now in the world. He has been my favorite actor for about the past 10 years. Catherine Zeta-Jones is awesome, and Mark Wahlberg's a guy I have a lot of respect for. So I'm very, very interested in Broken City. That being said, here are my 5 favorite Mark Wahlberg performances. Now, obviously, I'm leaving a couple off, and some people are going to get upset at me for leaving their favorite one off. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start at number 5. I'm going to say Invincible. A lot of people don't actually really like the movie, and I don't really love the movie either. But we're not talking about which is his best movie. We're talking about what's his best performance. And I actually thought he was really, really solid in Invincible. At number 4, The Fighter. You know what? It is unfortunate that he got completely overshadowed in this movie by the award-winning performance of Christian Bale. Because Bale was awesome in this movie. So awesome that it kind of overshadowed Wahlberg. But if you actually step back and just look at the performance of Wahlberg in it, he was fantastic.
He was.
And I actually kind of, deserved an Academy Award nomination for this role as well. Number 3, what I think most people will say are their favorite Mark Wahlberg films is Boogie Nights. Such a classic film. And it's, it works because Wahlberg, I think, pulled off that kind of almost innocent, aw shucks porn star to being the jerkwad by the end. He pulled that off in that transformation so well. I think the performance is fantastic. So number 3, Boogie Nights. Number 2, The Departed. And this is he got his. I believe this was his first Academy Award nomination. Was for The Departed for Best Supporting Actor. It is, of course, The Departed is a remake. One of my big arguments whenever people get into an argument with me about, oh, remakes suck. Really? The Departed. Eat it. Because it's based on my all-time favorite cop film, which is the Asian film Infernal Affairs. So number 2 is The Departed, and number 1, and this isn't me just trying to be, oh, what have you done for me lately? But Ted. I think Wahlberg has totally found his stride with comedy. I mean, we saw it in Date Night when he's just constantly with no shirt on in Date Night. He played that so smooth and cold that it was just awesome. And then we see him he did The Other Guys, which he wasn't bad in. And Ted, he just made it work. He really made it work. And I really think he's found, he's got this amazing career for comedy, as well as dramatic. So he's turning into one of these guys. He can do action. He can do drama. He can do comedy. And he's proved it in all of the genres so far. So, so once again, my 5 favorite Mark Wahlberg performances. Number 5, Invincible. Number 4, The Fighter. Number 3, Boogie Nights. Number 2, The Departed. And number 1, Ted. But listen, folks, jump into the comment section. Let me know, what do you think? What are your favorite Mark Wahlberg performances? What film did I leave off this list that you think I'm crazy for leaving it off? Let us know in the comments below. And listen, folks, that'll do it for us. We have run out of time. But while I've got you, take a second and click the subscribe button. Become a subscriber for our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's absolutely free, and it'll keep you up to date on everything going on in the world of movie news, our editorials, and of course, our daily AMC Movie Talk show. And listen, if you want an audio-only version, jump on over to iTunes and just search for AMC Movie Talk, and you can subscribe to an audio-only version of our daily show. Listen, also, follow us on Twitter by going to twitter.com/AMC Theaters. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/AMC Theaters. And once again, click that subscribe button. So, thank you, Suri Serrano, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you to you guys. Don't forget, jump into the comments section. Leave your thoughts. I'm in there all the time, and I'll answer any questions and respond and have a conversation with you in there if you'd like. And until tomorrow, join us again for AMC Movie Talk. My name is John Campia. Bye-bye.